Are we really the chosen people?
Is it possible to convert to Judaism?
How is it to be Jewish in these times?
Do you guys believe in Jesus?
What is it like to hear people cheer on Hezbollah and Hamas?
What is your take on Israel and Palestine?
Do you agree with Donald Trump on that?
Have you heard about the Antichrist?
Is it true that you can't open doors on Saturdays?
So you believe in heaven and hell?
Why do guys use the little hat?
Do you have horns? Is that what the hat's for?
The question I have is something you probably can't answer.
Well, try us.
Welcome back to another round of We're Jewish, Ask Us Anything. You know the rules, no questions are off the table. I hope you enjoy the chaotic, beautiful, organic, human interactions, educational experiences to follow. Here we go.
Zevi, nice to meet you. Your name first?
Zach.
Zach, Salman.
Salman, very nice to meet you.
Salman?
Salman.
Salman.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
From Egypt.
Oh, okay.
I'm half Egyptian, half Palestinian. And
Wow.
Yeah, I grew up in Egypt though, and now I'm studying here in NYU.
So is how do you say Egyptian in Egypt? Is it El Masri? Is that Egyptian?
Masri.
Masri.
We don't like Masri just without the L, but
Got
like
it. Got it.
yeah, that's okay.
And you're
that's pretty cool.
studying here?
Yeah, I'm studying here.
What do you study?
Electrical engineering.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, pretty
Very
cool.
cool.
I have a lot of questions about being. You said you're half Palestinian.
Yeah, yeah.
In NYU, but I want you to ask your question first.
So I have questions regarding Judaism.
Sure.
Basically, like one question that like I was just wondering basically, cause like I probably heard some stuff, but like I don't know like the authenticity of what I heard. So that's why I want to ask you.
Sure.
So basically, is it possible to convert to Judaism?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't encourage it, and we don't seek out converts. But if someone is very, very committed to converting, it is possible. Yes.
But why wouldn't you like encourage it though?
In Judaism, you do not need to be Jewish to be in relationship with God, to go to heaven.
Yeah.
So if someone is whatever they are, a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Hindu, a Taoist, whatever they are, they can be, from where they are, they can be in good relationship with God. And there's ways in Judaism that we connect with God as a Jew, but it's not exclusive. One does not need to be a Jew to connect with God. One can be a very righteous non-Jew.
Yeah.
And therefore, there's no incentive for us to convert someone else because they could be perfect as they are.
Okay,
and
so-
God created them as they are.
Mm,
The reason why we do allow conversion is because part of the belief is that there are non-Jews who may have some sort of Jewish part of them, either historically or spiritually, and for them, they would need to be to convert to Judaism. But otherwise, there's no real need from a Jewish perspective to convert to Judaism.
Okay. And so what is the incentive of staying in Judaism, if that's the case? So basically, if you can have a strong connection with God and also go to heaven without being a Jew,
Right.
why be a Jew?
Well, as a Jew, the way that I relate to God and the way I relate to my people is through being Jewish. So for me as a Jew, that is my path. And for a Muslim, their path is through Islam. But because I was already born into that, that was chosen for me, and therefore is the direction which I was given.
Okay. Okay. So, but like it's not like the only way that basically, like it's not like a single solution
Not
in
at
your
all.
perspective.
No.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
It's not. It's just one solution of many.
Okay.
We would call it the Jewish solution, but that was already taken by someone else.
Also, another random question.
Sure.
These
These are great questions, by the way.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you. I hope I'm not asking I'm not crossing over territory that I should not cross.
We won't be offended.
Okay, that's good.
It's in writing.
Okay, so
Maktub.
Maktub.
It's written.
How do you know so much Arabic?
A little here and there.
Okay.
A lot of Arabic slang made its way into Hebrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, another question.
And their cuisine.
What do you believe about Mary?
About Mary?
Oh, Mary Magdalene?
Mary, the mother of Jesus. So, it's funny because we did have this question before. So the first thing is that most Jews don't necessarily have an opinion about Mary the same way that they don't necessarily have an opinion about the Buddha, for example.
Okay.
These are characters that belong to religions that are other than ours. My personal feelings towards Mary, I think that the way a lot of Jews are raised and taught about Mary is in a way that sees her as someone who gave birth to something that was very harmful to Jews over history. A lot of Jews were killed in the name of Jesus, the son of Mary. My personal feeling is that Mary, as a Jewish woman, deserves a reevaluation, and there is a place now where we can look back and understand what's happened historically, but also understand that Christianity has brought a lot of very good things into the world, along with a lot of hatred, but also a lot of love. And we can appreciate Mary for what she brought into the world. That's my personal opinion. I'm trying to do a bit of like a reclaim Mary kind of thing. But most Jews will either not have much of an opinion about Mary, or will usually have.
You're talking
negative.
to a Jewish academic. Every other normal Jew will have zero opinion on Mary. Just like no opinion. Or a vague like, oh, I mean, Jesus' mom, well, I'm not the biggest fan of Jesus.
Okay.
But like...
And because the thing is, like, the reason I asked the question is that I met Jewish people that are named Mary or Maryam or like...
So Mary, yeah,
Something
so
like
Miriam... No, Miriam is a Jewish
Oh,
name.
oh.
Mary was a Jewish woman named Miriam.
Okay.
And her name never stopped being Jewish, right? She never stopped being Jewish.
But like, so, okay, so are they named after Mary, the mother of...
No.
Okay.
The
There's
most
another
famous Mary in the Bible, Miriam, from a Jewish perspective, is the sister of Moses. Musa Rasulullah, who took the Jews out of Egypt. Moses, his sister was Mary and Miriam. And she's, if you meet a Jew today named after Miriam, it's going to be Miriam the prophetess, who...
So you believe that there was another Maryam, that was the sister of Aaron, and
This is what it says in
Moses.
Torah. This is what the Bible says. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. No, I'm just
No, it's a great
building a
questions.
connection.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
gonna
all.
go on a limb here and assume that you are you a Christian?
No, I'm Muslim.
You are Muslim.
Mm.
Oh wow. Okay, you're just curious.
No, yeah, but because actually,
No, I
something
like
that
that.
the others do not really know, that basically we also believe in Jesus as being like a prophet, but not a god, but like a prophet.
Whoa, really?
Amongst the prophets.
Well, that's news.
Absolutely.
I'll be honest with you. I do not know a lot about Islam at all. Like, I have probably way more questions for you than you have for me. I did not. You guys believe he was a
You can
prophet?
ask. We believe
Because
that
Jews do not believe he was a prophet.
Yeah, at least like that's what I heard. So basically, like at least from like okay, I didn't make it. So basically, I heard that Jewish people do not believe Jesus as a prophet, right?
Correct. That is correct.
Okay. Us as Muslims, we do believe Jesus, Moses, and Noah, and all the other prophets are Prophet Ibrahim. They're all prophets.
Do you guys believe that in the Jewish prophets, like
Just mention
Zachariah
names.
and
Huh? Aaron, yeah.
They
Aaron.
believe in Jewish
Aaron.
okay.
Yeah, that was the brother of Moses, right?
No,
Oh, wait, what?
no, that was Aaron.
Oh,
Aaron.
Any
Jew, they believe in all Jewish prophets
are
and the
too.
Christian prophets. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Islam has definitely winning in most prophets believed in.
Yeah.
They're also latest historically, so they looking back retrospectively.
Right.
So-
That's how Revelation is.
So
no, but I didn't
basically,
realize they accepted Jesus.
the way we
as
understand
prophet.
Islam is so basically actually we say that Islam was there from the beginning of time.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically we say that Islam was at the time of Judaism. It was Judaism.
Yeah.
And the time of Jesus, it was Islam was Christianity, and now basically a new prophet came, basically which was Muhammad, and now it's like with the new
Peace
book.
be upon him.
Huh?
Peace be upon him.
Thank you. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And basically with the new book and like with the new teachings, and he was like the last one for the end of time. So basically
Wow.
we believe that they all came with the same message, and it was just like they came right, like one after another. That's why we believe in all of them.
Have you ever looked into the similarities between the laws about halal and the laws of kashrut?
So actually, like not really, but do you know that basically kosher is halal for us?
Yes.
So for example, my friends.
Unfortunately,
and I,
halal is not kosher for us.
Oh,
Although
really?
sometimes I tell that to myself to make myself feel better when I eat halal.
So basically, if I'm looking for meat, I look for either halal or kosher, which
very
is
cool.
which is convenient.
Glad we can help.
Thank you.
That's a good question. Do you think there's more? See, there's 1,000 halal carts in New York City, but there might be more kosher restaurants than there are Muslim restaurants.
Mm.
I feel, no?
So I think
Not counting carts.
I don't know, to be honest.
No,
Like,
what am I saying? There's gonna be way. Why? I just realized how dumb that is. No way.
yeah, there are a lot of halal restaurants.
There's a
out
lot
there.
of halal
Yeah,
restaurants.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm wrong.
But like if I go to like a random supermarket, or like I don't know, if I go to Trader Joe's for example, I can find kosher meat and chicken, but I cannot find halal meat and chicken.
Prophet,
So
Prophet Joe.
Interesting.
I call him
uh,
Trader
yeah.
Joe, inshallah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the questions. Hopefully, I'm not taking too much.
I feel
of
like
your
you're an
time.
academically minded man. Like I feel like you have like an academic curiosity and things. I feel like you two would.
I'm interested in
You
basically
guys
in
would talk
understanding
a lot.
basically like the differences between the different religions.
Have
But I
you
do
ever
have-
studied it, comparative religion?
No, I did not study it, but I studied Islam growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch a few debates. That's how basically
Ooh, who?
of wait. So you know Speaker's Corner.
Sure, yeah.
So I did watch a lot of that.
Yeah.
When
I
was,
also want to say I so appreciate the energy that you came over with. You came over with curiosity and openness and a willingness to learn.
Thank you so
and
much.
I so respect that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I actually like because you said you would have a lot of questions for me. Would you? Would you?
I
wanna
mean,
ask?
now the Jesus thing is still knocking me on my ass. To be honest with you, I really didn't know that. Okay, honestly, this is a basic question. So I grew up like religious, where we send our young boys like in high school and beyond to like something called the yeshiva, a school,
Okay.
just boys, no girls, and after we turn like 18, basically, all we do all day for a few years is learn Talmud, learn Torah, learn Chumash, like learn our scriptures. Does Islam have something like that? Do you guys have academies where you know not no secular studies, you just learn?
Madrasa.
It's called madrasa.
So
Let him
madrasa-
answer it. I'm asking the Islam. Stop flexing how much you know about Islam.
So madrasa is actually the general Arabic word for school.
Okay.
But some people will use that same word to refer specifically to like a religious school. So basically, yes, there like schools like that exist. Some people go like and just learn like exclusively about religion.
Yeah.
But there are other schools that basically like the one I've been to, where
They had
religion is part of the entire curriculum.
So that was like the schools I went to. And do you guys have? We have something called like midrashim, which means we like extrapolate from. I mean, you don't just learn the Quran. There's also what's the word I'm looking for?
Hadith,
Well, what's that called? That's called
Sunnah.
The people who extrapolate upon it. What's it called? In
Wait.
English. What's the English term for those type of script books? The interpretations, yeah, explanations. Like there's in-depth study.
Yeah. So, so basically, you're asking like, the schools like, do you learn
Yeah.
about like the interpretations?
And do you learn it in English or is it in
So in Arabic, obviously, like because I grew up.
But is
in
it
Egypt.
in the same Arabic that you guys learn and write and read in?
So the thing is like so that's a question about Arabic. So basically, Arabic still as a language was preserved. Like
Yeah.
we still use it, and a part of that is actually because of the Quran, because the Quran is thought of as like the highest form of Arabic, and writers try to basically write to be like as sophisticated as the language of the Quran. So like that, it's always like the standard that's look up to. In fact, the Arabic rules were taken from the Quran. So actually, that's why actually it's ridiculous to try to point out like an Arabic mistake in the Quran because the rules were taken from it. So like it's like getting a ruler and saying
Yeah.
that this is a meter, and then try to say that this is not a meter, but we
Right.
define the meter as that.
Right.
You get me? So basically, it's thought of as the highest form of Arabic, and therefore like because it's preserved, because it's memorized. That's actually like why we're 100% sure that we have the same Quran that the Prophet had. Because it's kind of impossible, because it's memorized, it's impossible to change. Like if it was just a written book, you can just go in there and just change a word. But
Right.
since it's memorized by the people, you have to go and change the memory of every single person out there. And that's way harder
We have
to
a
do.
word we love to say in Judaism, Masorah, tradition. It's an oral tradition.
By the way, I have a question. Do you have that? How do you believe that basically that the Torah was preserved since the time of Moses?
Yes, we do. That's a
And-
huge tenet of like religious Judaism is that the Torah is unchanged
Okay.
since Sinai.
So, what is your take basically on Israel and Palestine?
My feeling is that what we're seeing some of the worst how do I want to put this? My feeling is that humans naturally, face to face, want to coexist peacefully. They want to flourish. They want to be there for themselves, for their families, for each other. And I think that what happens is there are narratives that get laid on that can turn people against each other. You know, a famous atheist, Christopher Hitchens, would say that that naturally good humans will be good to each other. It takes an ideology like religion to turn them against each other. Now, I believe that ideology can be used positively as well. I think it can encourage us to be our best selves, to be holy, to be humble, to live a life of service, and we've seen that example. But I think that there are ways in which ideology covers up on our humanity, and when that becomes primary, we forget that we're facing another human, and we're able to then commit acts of violence and abuse and persecution. And I think that what we're seeing is people that have put ideology before humanity, and I think we're seeing that on both sides, which is allowing the possibility of one human to commit violence against another human. And my personal belief is that if we can come back to our shared humanity, we will be incapable. I don't think that one can fully see the humanity of another and then perpetuate violence against them, firstly. And secondly, we also have to take control of our narratives, our ideologies, and instead of allowing them to be sources of hatred, we have to find the beauty in them and allow them to be messages of peace. I think that Islam has a very profound message of peace for the world. I think that Judaism has a very profound message of peace, and we have to be able to return to our ideology, to our humanity, and the beauty of our ideologies. I know that's a very abstract, kind of general answer, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, I really respect that, Annie. Thank you for saying that.
Of course.
And I agree with basically what you just said. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So another question. So basically, that's like a religion-related question, or like basically on what's happening right now.
Sure.
So, so my understanding, or at least what I heard. So correct me, obviously, if I'm wrong. You know better. So as as a Jew, does your scripture tell you that there's basically a person that's going to be sent by God that's going to come later? Now, basically, at least us Muslims and Christians would say that Jesus was that person, but like
Right,
basically from
right.
your perspective.
In Islam, you also believe that there is a Mahdi, which was coming at the end of days,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we do believe in that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So, I think the idea of the Mahdi in Islam and the idea of Messiah in Christianity, they're actually both. It's originally a Jewish idea,
Okay.
which begins in Tanakh, in the Hebrew scriptures, in the Hebrew Bible, the Jewish Bible. And the idea is that there is an anointed one, a Mashiach, which is what the word literally means, who will come at the end of days to usher in a day and an everlasting period of peace, prosperity. The idea of a redeemer, of a Messiah, is originally a Jewish idea, which then gets used and interpreted by first Christianity, then by Islam. The main difference is that in Christianity, they believe that the Messiah came already. In Judaism, we're still waiting for the Messiah to come, and we're still waiting for the world to be a redeemed place, that we could say that work has been done. But until then, there's a lot of work to do.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, that's interesting. There's actually like there's a verse that basically when the like in the Quran that when like it says basically وإن من أهل الكتاب إلا لا يؤمنن به بعد موته ويوم القيامة يكون عليهم شهيدا. So that Jesus, when he comes back, that all the basically the people of the book, because you probably have heard before, but like the Quran mentions basically when the Quran want to refer to basically the Jewish people and the Christians, exactly أهل الكتاب, the people of the book. So I mean أهل الكتاب, as you heard basically. So we believe that basically, so the Quran says that they're gonna all believe basically when Jesus comes. In Jesus, but obviously still our perspective is that Jesus holds Islam.
Sure.
The way it was then and the way it is basically right now.
I mean, if I understand correctly, Islam just literally means to surrender to God.
Yeah.
So Adam, Jesus, Moses, Noah, they were all people who surrendered to God, and therefore they were Muslim, right?
Yeah, exactly. So basically they all believed basically in one God, and that's it. And so actually that's a question from me to you, if you'd like. So basically, do you believe that Moses was a prophet?
Yes.
So basically, okay, let's go back to the initial question that probably I should have asked from the beginning.
Sure.
Like, so in Judaism, so you believe there is one God?
Yes.
And do you believe that, like, he exists like in multiple forms or just in one form? That's
God,
it.
God in Judaism has no form. God has no body.
Okay. That's
God is one and indivisible.
Yep. And Moses was just the prophet of God.
The prophet of God, yeah.
Okay. So we have more in common than I initially thought.
Nabi Allah.
Nabi Allah. Okay, that's that's good to hear. Alhamdulillah. Okay, I think these were kind of my questions.
Awesome.
I want to take more of your time.
It's been a
But
pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Salman.
Your name again? Sorry.
Zevi.
Zevi.
Yeah. Salman is King Solomon.
Oh yeah.
The wisest of all men.
Actually, so Salman. So yeah, I'm gonna say that. So that in Arabic at least that was Suleiman.
Suleiman,
The
yeah.
king you were mentioning. My name is Salman, which is basically the name of one of the companions actually of the Prophet.
Beautiful.
Was also like a very righteous man, and his literal name translates to the peaceful man.
Beautiful.
So I hope
Well,
I carry that name for long.
you certainly do.
Thank you so much.
And it's a pleasure to meet you.
It was a pleasure to meet you too.
Thank you,
so
brother.
much. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Come on. We got another mic for you.
Come on!
Yes,
Come on, let's go.
A lot of Jews.
Namaste, the
Altogether.
Lululemon in me sees the Lululemon in you.
What's up?
Hey, Zevi.
Eyal, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Eyal.
Yeah, I know you from YouTube.
Oh, cool. Nice to
Yeah,
meet
he
you.
literally walked up. He's like, I know this
Nice to
guy.
meet you in person.
And Khani.
Khani.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
So I have actually a question.
Please.
So we are from Israel, from Tel Aviv. It's our first time in the States.
Oh, first
And,
time.
Yeah.
Weird time to be in the States in Israeli, no?
Yeah. So we've been like from California. We've been like in 10 states. We traveled with an RV from California, Nevada.
That's so
We've been
dope.
to Yellowstone. Now we're here. And how is it to be Jewish in these times in the States?
It's funny actually. I've also been on the road. I was traveling like I drove actually from New York across all the way to California.
Oh.
And then I drove from the bottom of California all the way up, like I'm heading towards like Oregon, Washington. And I've only had, and you meet everyone when you're on the road,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Everyone, like
Yeah.
you're on the road, you're in gas stops, you're in supermarkets, you're
Yeah.
in tourist attractions. So far, everyone that I've met has been super kind and friendly. I've had people come over and say like respect for showing up proud and Jewish, identifying visually, and I don't know. I think that what sells well online, and the media is fear, anger. They're out to get us. Oh. But if you actually spend time, and I'm curious what your experience has been.
Yeah.
I've only face to face. People have almost always only been delightful and cordial and social and friendly. That's been my experience. And I know that's not everyone's experience, and I can't speak on behalf of everyone, but I'm curious, what's your experience been like?
So
I want
actually,
to answer.
come on.
I'm advocating for myself.
You have a voice here, Zach. Yeah.
Just really quickly, I would say that I feel two feelings. Feeling number one is this beautiful sense of like, it used to be like, I live in New York. There's a lot of Jews here, but it used to be that like, if I see another Jew, I'm just like, oh, there's a Jew. Hi. Now you see a Jew, you're like, achi. Like there's like a real sense of like family now amongst Jews. It is also the other feeling I have felt since October, just exhaustion. It's so exhausting. And honestly, I still, my social circle is mostly Jews. It's mostly the Jews who are exhausting me. Because it's just like a constant, like every conversation now has to be like, and now let's bring up what's happening in the Middle East. And it's like, and what's your opinion? It's like, I didn't grow up Zionist. Like I had to learn since October 7th is when I started to really take a strong interest in Israel and in what's going on. I've been in America my whole life.
You've never been to Israel.
I've been, but just for birthright.
Oh, okay.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
Just for birthright. And there weren't even girls on my birthright trip. And I was on an Orthodox birthright. Terrible idea. No, I'm sorry. It was great. But at a certain point, Jews and non-Jews alike, like, every time I go on the internet, we're trending on Twitter. Everyone and their mother is talking about Jews. Every non-Jew is talking about Jews. Every political pundit is talking about Jews. And then every Jew wants you to check to see your thoughts. You have the correct opinions about Israel and being Jew. Enough.
Yeah.
Enough. I don't, you know, like I want to just love my fellow Jews, but I don't want to talk about the experience. And then, of course, I'm talking out of my ass because I'm right here asking people to talk to us about Jews. But I love being Jewish, but it can get exhausting. Sometimes I just want to be. I'm just Zach, guys. Like,
Hey, Zach.
ask a rabbi.
What's your experience been like?
So, it was nice. Actually, we've been mostly to red states.
And they like the Jews.
Yeah, they like Israel. They very pro-Israel.
You don't want to go too right though.
Yeah.
If you guys go to the
Mild.
deep south,
Yeah,
you might
yeah.
meet some.
But actually, we had like a very good experience. People were very nice, open. We discussed like they're curious. So they ask you. They know you're from Israel. You've been to the army. What was it like in the October 7th attacks and stuff? And people actually very nice and supportive. And
I think most of the experience here are more like pretty friendly and good and like as you said like interested and like what is going on. I think maybe a couple of times that we're like standing on the street and it's funny because we just again met like people randomly on the way on the road, and it was like we're like they're from Brazil and like this one guy was from Italy.
Have I messed
How
with
can you
them?
do it like together? It's like my mind is
Welcome
like,
to New
Welcome
York.
to New York.
Oh, okay.
It's also it's interesting you said that you're not an ambassador, you're just tourist. I feel like sometimes.
Thank you.
We need a camera to turn around to get this B-roll.
Yeah, you need like a side camera.
That's Disco Dan. I mean, that's a legend.
We're missing a lot here.
We really are.
All right.
yes, so even though I don't.
So I feel like you don't get the choice sometimes whether you're going to be an ambassador or
so
not. Sometimes you just are an ambassador. whether you're
even though like in a aggressive situation, I'm like telling I'm not an ambassador of Israel. I do find myself advocating for Israel,
Sure.
just like contribute my point of view from an Israeli side.
Nachon, right. Do you find that you're also an ambassador for Judaism, or is that separate for people?
I think for me it's pretty separate because I'm secular. But I think I'm Jewish.
Right.
I think this time it comes together.
Yeah,
like,
it comes
after the
together.
war.
Right,
From
right.
my opinion,
Sure.
after the war, it's like comes together. And before, like when I traveled, before like the war started, so it was like I'm like a Jew, and a Jew.
Right.
You know, it's not
Right.
all of my meaning.
Sure.
And now when I'm travel and people like heard that I'm from Israel, like it's a thing.
Right. Right.
So. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
It was super interesting and nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Zevi.
Zevi. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
My name's Nate.
Nate.
Yeah.
Nate, are
Zevi,
you
nice to meet you.
Nice to
of
meet
the
you.
tribe or outside?
I'm not. I'm outside
You're
of the
not.
tribe. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm
Live
a
one.
Gentile.
Perfect.
No, we've gotten so many Jews, and as much as we love Jews, we were hoping that someone not Jewish would come ask. By the way, we got another mic if you want to. We can grab both of you.
Let's
yeah?
go, boy.
We got a whole nother mic.
How are you guys?
We're doing fantastic.
Zevi, very nice to meet you.
Zach.
Zach, nice to
Yeah,
meet you.
Colton.
Can I leave my stuff over there? It's I got it.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
We have a very excited Jew.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's
What are
go.
you talking about? I mean, I know stuff about Jews, though.
Well, you got to bring a camera crew next time and film.
I want to talk about being Jewish too.
Well, we won't be long because we got to go.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll be real fast. Yeah, me and him.
You know, that's because you probably have work or some way to make money, right? Like you can't just sit outside all day.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Hey,
I don't
excuse me.
I'm gonna take that as like Jewish humor that I don't understand.
Yeah.
That was Jewish humor. Man, I got you.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, we're gonna finish up our interview.
Yeah.
All right, no, you're good, man. You're good.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, I have one question to ask you because we got to go back to our room in a second. But
Yeah, sure, no problem.
what does it feel like to be you?
Oh, that's such an interesting question. I assume you mean that in a Jewish context. Though.
I mean, you personally, you in a communal sense, you in any sense you want to take it.
Very general question. I'm very American. I'm not Israeli. I did grow up Orthodox. Like I used to wear one of these, and I used to be more visibly Jewish. But I'm very American. Like I, grew up in Cleveland with television and movies and books, and like just felt like a regular American kid. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized like most American children like meet people who aren't just Jews.
Sure.
Like everyone I knew was a Jew until my 20s.
Yeah.
So right now, how do I feel? I feel as both like an insider in America and as an outsider, but not in a necessarily unpleasant way. It's really awesome a level of Jewish community there is here in New York, and I love being Jewish, and I love that there's that immense sense of community. But it is also just weird every other day.
Yeah.
Your ethnicity, race, religion, whatever Judaism is just trending on Twitter. It's like, it's a lot. It's like, oh, what did they/we do now? Like, what happened?
Right.
Every other day, man.
You simultaneously feel a part of the community, but also excluded from the larger community of the country sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like, I mean, again, I grew up very Orthodox. Like, we sometimes exclude ourselves, and
Sure.
like in a way that all very religious people do.
Sure.
Like, we exclude ourselves, and then sometimes we're not excluding ourselves. We just get excluded.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's like, oh, this is terrifying. And then sometimes it's like, why are you obsessed with me? Like, like I know we're like on your mind, free rent, real estate. You know, Jews love real estate. We have real estate in everyone's minds.
More of that Jewish humor. I'm loving it.
It's great.
It's so
I'm
great.
just watching it. I don't want to say anything
I
about
know.
it. What does it feel like to be you? I want you to answer that.
Yeah, it's such like a massive question.
It's too big.
And it's almost like I don't know anything else but being me. So it feels like me. And I feel, and so I'm going to answer your question a little differently than the way my friend Zach took it. I feel like human first. Some days I feel happy, I feel motivated, I feel inspired. Some days I feel really shitty and I down on myself and I don't have like, you know, the self-love to push through and I feel hungry, I feel tired, I feel like I feel very human. And then on top of my humanity is layered like my culture. My people, my nationality, my gender, my sexuality, like those are all things on top. But I think that what it feels like to feel me, and maybe this is like a bit of a philosophical answer to a bit of a philosophical question, it just feels like being human. With all of my unique particularities and idiosyncrasies that make me being me. But that's all I know.
Well, I've never asked you this. Now I'm going to have to ask him a question on your guys' time, and I apologize. But
No, go for it.
Works, man.
As a religious Jew, as a visibly religious Jew, do you identify first and foremost as human before Jewish? And do you
100%.
consider yourself a citizen of the world? Because you're kind of nomadic also.
Yeah, I do consider myself, number one, human. And I think that's what Judaism, at least the Judaism that I was taught, wants me to feel first. We just spoke about this with another friend who sat down for a chat. That in Judaism, it's Adam who's created first. There's humanity created first. And only hundreds of years later does Abraham, the first Jew, come on scene. So our humanity is first. And that doesn't take away from my pride and my love of being Jewish. It just means that first and foremost, I'm a human and a fellow human.
That's a great answer.
I love it.
Thank you.
You got a question? I already asked one.
No, I'm just enjoying this conversation.
You guys have such delightful energy. It's like
Yeah.
so nice to
thanks, man.
share the space with you.
Oh, same. As soon as I
Thank
sat
you.
down, I knew this was a good idea.
Good.
Yeah.
Until you sat down, you weren't
Guys,
sure.
I'll be honest with
No.
you, this was a little too wholesome. We're not going to get views that way.
You're not.
I'm going to need you guys to ask something controversial.
I can't rage bait with my own face. It's not gonna work. No, man, I'm good. I mean,
Same.
if you have something.
This
Oh,
was,
we
this was
appreciate
such a
it.
pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you guys
yeah.
so
Thanks for
much.
talking
You bet.
with
You
us.
bet.
So appreciate it.
Not great content, but great to meet you guys.
Great
You know what?
conversation.
Great content in some metric.
We set up the camera and it was lovely.
Yeah, that's like the tagline.
That's right.
You won't believe what he said next. It was really nice. It was sweet.
How do we proudly present as Jews, as also American Jews, when you still have white supremacy shown in different parts of the country?
I feel like there's definitely a balance between, like, I don't believe in any sort of shrinking of yourself and your identity to make other people happy. Like, as long as you are not actively hurting someone else or inactively hurting someone else, like, it's so anathema to me to, like, shrink in any way. Like, you should walk around and be as proudly Jewish as possible, not even, like, despite the white supremacists, maybe even because of them. Like, the more they hate, the more, like, I'm not backing down. At the same time, there is also, like, I definitely think that it's important for Jews who live in America that other Americans know we are on America's side. Like, we care about our fellow countrymen, not just fellow Jews. And there is, I would agree with you that there is definitely sometimes some Jews can give off a vibe that is not that we're only interested in the in-group. And I don't think just Jews do that. I think every in-group can oftentimes give off to other Americans a vibe of we're not invested in this project called America. So I do think that there's a balance there where Jews need to like be lawful citizens, and we need to keep the laws and like not cheat in business and not and go out and vote and like be part of this civil project of being an American. But I just reject out of hand any sort of like should I not be as out loud and as proudly Jewish because there are whites? Like, no, be more. Obviously, safety is important. Like, don't piss them off for no reason. But like, yeah, how do you want to live your life? Do you want to live your life not proud, or do you want to live your life proud?
I see. What do you personally see as what kind of changes we can make so that we can say we're all American, we're all Jewish?
That's interesting. I'll be honest. I've never thought about. I wonder if Zev, if you have an answer to this question. I don't think I've ever really pondered how Jews can be more American or more, show that they're more like proud of to be American. I don't know. I guess what could anyone, Jew or not Jew? Let me throw the question right back to you. What could any citizen do to be more American and to be more? God does not like this.
The weather just changed.
The wind is anti-Semitic. I swear to God.
I'd say that what makes America a great country is precisely that it's a place that's built from so many cultures.
Absolutely.
And it's a place which opened its shores and borders to the huddled masses yearning to be free, right?
Correct.
And
You're gonna make me cry.
And the story of great immigrant communities is the American story. And I think that what's so special about this place is that we're encouraged, not just allowed to, but encouraged to express our culture, our ethnicity, our individuality in a way that contributes to the whole, in a way that doesn't force us to assimilate and to lose our identity in that process, that we don't have to stop being Jewish to become American, but we can be proudly Jewish, proudly American, and that's encouraged by this culture. What an incredible place to be, what an incredible country that encourages such a thing, whether you're Christian or Albanian or Muslim or Chinese or Japanese or Jewish or Shinto. We want you to be proud and to express that and to find a place to do that with real honor and real dignity, and that enhances the American experience. I mean, this would be a boring country if we were just all monolithic and the same. So I would say to be an American means to be a proud Jew. That would be my take.
I love that answer.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.